Hello there everybody and welcome to another video by me and Wardo7. Here I'm going to talk to you about an Apple Arcade video. Again, this is part of a long series that I'm doing, so if you want to know more about Apple Arcade, it is available in English and Spanish on the adequate playlist under my channel in Wardo7. But anyway, let's get into this game. This game caught my attention and I wasn't too impressed by it at first, but it caught my attention enough to give it a shot. Why not? And I am blown away. You're probably knowing what game it is already. It is called Bleak. It is exclusive to the Apple Arcade. It is actually been updated to version 1.1 as of this video. And the game as it goes, Bleak Dark Fantasy Dioramas. It is an 8-bit game. It is black and white for the most part, but there is red. But it's mostly used for blood or fire or Dead Skull or a Red Moon. You know, death stuff. Age rating is 12 plus years old, so you know what's up. Categories action. Developer is, I can't barely read it on this thing. Devolver. Oh, oh yeah, never mind. The logo is very hard to read on a white background. Languages is English and 14 others. I've actually played in English and Spanish and it works just fine. The game's description says 8-bit, which is adequate because the game actually is literally an 8-bit game. You know, pixel art, that kind of style. It intrigued me when I first saw it because it reminded me of Sword Art, or not Sword Art Online, what the fuck, I'm not talking about anime, Sword Brothers. It's a game on iOS that I've been a big fan of, actually musically more than art itself. But anyway, I'm going to read you the description and give you my insights on based on whatever they say. By the way, if you want to hear more of Apple Arcade games, let me know in the comments. I'll bring them up for you and I'll make a video about it. First impressions or review, just hit me up on nwardo7 on the social medias. But let's dive into this. Bleak is a dark fantasy action game tasking players to struggle across compact, cursed diorama battlefields, which do change quite a bit, guys, when you go from one. It is divided through, like it says here, 9 tense chapters. Heroes must lift the curse of the legendary Bleak Sword by striking down all manner of creatures in every forest. And I'm telling you, this game has all kinds of things. It's got swamp dead zombies, it's got like bats, it's got spiders, it's got huge elf looking deer, it's got horses, it's got bats, it's got gargantels, I think it's gargants, I mean, it's got everything. I managed to get to level 5. I only played the first chapter of I mean, it says 9 chapters, so it would be episodes then. The first episode of chapter 5 I actually started, and within I think 2-3 hours I managed to get halfway through the game, and I loved it. Well, less, yeah, it was like 2 hours, and I loved every second of it. Except the fact that at first it is kind of I played on the difficulty above normal. I do recommend you play it on normal because it will turn you off if you're coming from a game, if you're used to progression without much effort, then don't go higher than normal. Normal, it is kind of, you know, brain dead progression almost to a point. But once you go on the higher ones, it definitely gets going. At least you have to be awake in order to play this game. Which, I mean, that refers to, you know, like, you have to think about the tactics. And it changes quite a bit. I started, you know, walking in the forest, then you end up in a swamp. There's enemies that will throw things at you, tentacles coming out of the water. Then you'll be on a horse, and you'll be fighting enemies through fields and jumping over stuff. And there's boss levels at the end of every chapter. It's fun, guys. I can definitely recommend starting it because the thing is, the art is unique, okay? And the mechanics are a little punishable. Like when you die, for example, you lose all your items, and which are not a ton, but you do lose your items that you do get your XP. And you don't level down, but you lose the XP. Let's say you're about to level up and you die on that level. You have to beat that level in order to manage to recover all your items and your XP. And it's so easy to die that it might turn you off. But the controls are intuitive. I actually enjoyed them a lot. And I played it on the Apple TV. I wasn't able to play on the 4K A10X powered version. I wouldn't download it for some reason, but I did play it on the A6 powered version, the HD Apple TV, and it looked great. Not like hot lava looking like a blur, but I'm not surprised. I played it on the iPhone, it felt great. I played on the MacBook Pro, it felt great on the iPad, and honestly I didn't even use the two finger controls on the iPad, just the one finger, because I think it plays great. Learning curve is easy. I would definitely recommend it. I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't know if I'll make a review because it's kind of basic in a sense. It's simple, but if you want one, I'll make it. Definitely on the computer, it is quite a change. I wish they would implement the trackpad. You can't use the trackpad, and it's only keypads. And on the Apple TV, as of now, it is almost a two-handed game. And really, you can't progress too further into the game without going two-handed on the Siri remote. But anyway, hope you appreciate this. If you like it, give it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified whenever the review or other Apple Arcade games come out, and let me know what games you want. This is Eduardo7, and this is my first impressions on Bleak Sword from Apple Arcade.